Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's JJ. Today I'm coming back basically talking about this war of Moby Dicks with basically FTX and Binance, and of course this is the following update on the fiasco, and of course in this video itself it might be some good news for everybody. And of course I would say introduction itself, first of all I would say that some of the products that I mentioned is purely affiliate programs, and of course you guys can support the channel by basically using the links down below. And of course I would recommend you guys to buy a Ledger Nano X or S Plus to basically store your cryptocurrency, because you have to know that in the space itself, if it's not your private keys, it's not your funds. So without further ado, we are going to do a recap on what had happened previously. So previously on this fiasco itself, I made a video talking about it. It's going to pop up above. If you want to watch it over here, just click on it. It's basically talking about these two exchanges like fighting, and after that from there we have some conspiracy theory, and of course from there I would say I named the title Wars of basically Moby Dicks. And of course FTX itself, rumors said that it's in insolvent / bankruptcy. And of course Binance itself, there's some people saying that there is some cover-up going on, and of course from there I basically break it down for you guys, basically talking about FTX itself is going like bankrupt, and after that from that, or is it just a marketing scheme that Binance have to like cover up for something, and after that from there grab their client base, basically talking about this over here, this news article. And after that from there we have this news timeline, 6th of October, basically a hacker drains Binance 580 million worth of BNB, and after that 7th of November Binance start dumping 580 million worth of FTT. So this over here looks like a coincidence, and after that from there 7th November itself, FTX urged CZ to stop dumping FTT, because if they start dumping FTT, and after that from there, because Alumna research itself, they are basically using FTT as leverage to basically borrow funds here and there. And of course once the price keep dipping, I mean liquidation will happen, and of course from there they will have some insolvent issues / liquidity issue. Over here 8th of November itself, CZ is willing to stop dumping to trade all of their FTX or Binance FTX holdings towards Alumna. If let's say Alumna Research is willing to give them 580 million worth in BNB. So over here we go back to number one itself, 6th of October, whatever happened. So this is just a conspiracy theory over here. And of course I would say there's a later news itself talking about this whole fiasco, this conspiracy itself. So I would say something has came to light, and of course from there FTX somehow admitted something is wrong, and after that Binance, being the bigger player, willing to help the space itself, so we won't see another Luna crash. So over here we're gonna jump into the topic itself. Binance have won this this war. So over here on Twitter itself we can see that CZ itself has announced that this afternoon FTX have asked for help. There is a significant liquidity crunch. So over here to make it very simple for you guys, FTX has asked us for help, and after that there seems to be some liquidity / withdrawals issue, funding issue. To protect the users, they have signed a non-binding LOI. Basically over here this is a contract that they can walk away from without any obligation. So this is just a contract to sign that, okay, we are intending to fully acquire you, but we will need to basically help, they will help them to they will acquire FTX, and after that from there help them cover the liquidity crunch, because I would say around 4 to 5 hours ago people tried to withdraw on FTX itself, and after that from there the withdrawal has been paused, and after that everybody's checking on their Ethereum like ERC20 chain, and after that from there, yes, it's true enough that they stopped withdrawals like around 4 to 5 hours ago. And after that from there you can see that Binance itself will be conducting a full due diligence in the coming days to basically do the accounting check on FTX itself, to basically to decide that do they want to fully acquire FTX itself. So I would say this is somehow like a borderline good news that Binance is willing to buy out FTX itself. And after that from there we can scroll down itself, there is a lot to cover, and after that it will take some time. This is highly dynamic situation. They are assessing the situation in real time, and Binance has discretion to pull out from the deal anytime. We expect FTC to be highly volatile in the coming days. So this over here is telling you guys that don't be too happy itself. Binance has not acquired, and after that has not covered all of this liquidity issue that is ongoing on FTX itself. So over here stays Saifu, and after Saifu, and after that over here we can see on SBF Twitter itself, he say, hey, I have something to announce. So here things have come to full circle, and FTXcom first and the last investor are the same. We have come to an agreement on the strategic transaction with Binance. Basically what CZ has basically spoken about. acquiring FTX, and after that from there they need to do some due diligence checks. So scroll down itself, their team has been working out to basically clear out withdrawals backlog, and after that this is will clear out the liquidity crunches. All assets will be covered one-to-one. This is one of the main reason that they have asked Binance to come in, and after that it might take some time to settle. So over here is just trying to cover SBF itself is trying to cover up some of the liquidity issue, which he claimed earlier, telling everyone that FTX itself has no issue with this huge withdrawals that is happening. And after that from there you can see, but important things itself, the customer are protected. So we hear a huge thank you to basically CZ Binance, and after that all of the supporters. This is a user concentrated centric development that benefits the entire industry. Definitely, if let's say this deal doesn't work out, I would say the industry will start crashing. And of course from there CZ has done and of course will continue to do an incredible job in building global blah blah, all the good words itself, to basically hope that CZ might will want to acquire them after doing their due diligence. So over here I know that rumors of the media have conflict between the two of the exchange. However, Binance have shown time again basically saying all the good stuff about Binance again. And after over here, note that FTX.US and Binance.US is two separate entities, so we have to get this right. Binance is only acquiring FTX.com, not FTX.US. And after that, from there, you have to see that on FTX.US users itself, they are all operating normally. Withdrawals are and have been live and is fully backed one-to-one. Basically over here, FTX itself, the FTX US is much more regulated, and after that from that, accounting's books itself is much more strict because Uncle Sam is looking at auditing on their assets itself. So on FTX.com itself is not that regulated yet, therefore some screw up have happened. So over here there's some memes on the Twitter itself which is very funny, and after that we can see, scroll down itself, we can see over here you can see that he claimed that FTX is fine, assets are fine. So over here he did not mention if FTX.com or .US is fine. So assuming he's just telling everybody that FTX in the whole itself is fine. But of course we can see that after like a day of like maybe crashing, and I mean like maybe 2 or 3 days of crashing, and of course liquidity dumping and everything, so basically FTT itself has went down a lot. I would say almost 50% or even 40%. Some of you guys might say even like going to 0 or something like that. And right now there's this thing ongoing. So over here I will give you my thoughts about this acquisition. So over here I would say the thoughts about this acquisition itself, I would say is very good if let's say it is going to happen. And after that, if let's say really FTX.com itself is facing some liquidity issue that they have not been able to basically process all of the withdrawals of the users itself, that means their treasury and of course the withdrawals doesn't match, so they can't really provide everybody with their funds. So if let's say this really happened, and of course the funding itself is really, I mean, ridiculous, like missing amount of like maybe even say like 30% of the total treasury versus the withdrawal itself, shit will happen. And after that from there, FTX will really go for file for a bankruptcy protection and stuff like this. And when we see that itself, what will happen in the space itself is the court itself will tell them, okay, so you have this crypto, that crypto, you have to sell it to basically cover the debt itself. And of course, when they start doing that itself, the whole crypto market will crash. And after that, we will see basically like, I don't know, 8,000, 5,000, or even $2,000 worth of in value on Bitcoin. And of course, from there, hopefully CZ itself will be, I mean, CZ has already gave out a helping hand to basically talk about this acquisition. And after that, from there, if let's say this really go through itself, we will see Binance, formerly FTX, formerly Blockfolio. Yeah, basically this is what's gonna happen. And after that, from there, we can see there's a lot of memes that is ongoing, which is quite fun to see. And after that, from there, hopefully this deal does not really, I mean, this deal does go through, and after that does not go to the drain. And of course, from there, I would say hopefully Binance will help people on FTX itself. I believe they will, because Binance CZ itself is a guy that wants the industry to do better. But of course, I would say some ill thoughts about this itself is basically CZ itself seeing Binance as a competitor, dumping the price itself, and after that making them insolvent. And of course, from there, when they are insolvent and stuff like this, I mean, like FTX itself has quite a name out there on the political side, basically lobbying with other people to basically what he said itself. I'm just gonna read it out for you on what Binance said. CZ said. So where he said this over here, you can see over here, liquidating our FTT to post a risk exit risk management, blah blah blah. So over here they will say we are not against anyone, but we will not support people who lobby against other industry player behind their backs. Basically, this is telling them that, oh, I mean, somehow maybe FTX bribe the congressman or whatsoever to go through for this regulation, that regulation, and after that, from there, I mean, they have already acquired all of this dirty work done. And after that, from there, I would say one of the scenario might be this, just another conspiracy theory that CZ wants to acquire FTX, and of course, from there, once they acquire FTX.com, they will basically don't need to go and lobby with other people, paid for lobby or whatsoever you want to call it. And after that, I would say this is just one of the conspiracy theory, but of course, at the end of the day, it is just business against business. So over here, if you see a competitor out there, basically you will try to basically beat the competitor. And of course, by doing it, one way itself is to basically trash the competitor in the market, and of course, causing the whole market to crash. And of course, when the whole market crashes itself, it does not benefit you as well. And of course, if let's say you want the market to thrive and everything, the best itself is to acquire them and make your company bigger, and of course eventually be the largest crypto exchange. So I would say FTX itself, they have tons of volume plus Binance together. I mean, if let's say this company really combine together, we will see the crypto largest exchange. I mean, it's really the largest exchange, but of course the extra large exchange to basically be playing in the field. And after that, from there, we will see both of the liquidity all together, and of course making Binance the most liquidity, having the most liquidity. And of course, from there you can see that trades itself, you will not be waiting for hours for it to fill or whatsoever. So this is one of the good thing. But nevertheless itself, I would say, regardless of whatever exchange wins or lose or whatsoever, please always store your funds on a crypto hardware wallet, which is you have full control of it. And after that, from there, do not use custodian wallets to basically store your funds itself, because when you use custodian wallets, it's as good as giving the bank like $10,000, and after that a hacker basically breach into the bank and drain out all their funds. And after that, from there, they tell you, oh, sorry, we can't give you your funds because we have this incident and we are waiting for our insurance plan. And of course, with this insurance plan that is happening, you will not get a single cent. And of course, you have to wait 2 or 3 years or maybe 5 years. So to prevent all of this hassle itself, whatever crypto that you have bought, send it to your hardware wallet. And after that, it's the best way to basically store your cryptocurrency. And I would recommend Ledger itself. Use the link down below. And of course, if you like the video, kindly leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notification. And I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye. Peace.